All right. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Dennis from Scratch Q&A show, where I wear a tie to make me look smart. Our first question today comes from Udaya Kumar 26. MegaFood Baby and Me Too has high levels of biotin and B12. Dangerously high? Short answer, no. B12, you mentioned there, and then biotin, which is also known as B7. If you look at the MegaFood Baby and Me Too bottle, it shows that B12 has a 286% daily value, and biotin has a 857% daily value. Now, at first glance, those look really high, and I can understand your concern, but we need to understand where those percentages are coming from. So the percent DV, which is on the bottle, and then sometimes you'll also see an RDA, which is recommended daily allowance. They're hilariously bad recommendations. They are averages across the whole population for, what the normal person needs, not to be healthy, but to stave off severe deficiencies. So if you get 100% vitamin C, you're just gonna be staving off scurvy, essentially, right? You're not gonna be living an optimal, healthy life. I'm taking vitamin C right now to help with my seasonal allergies. I have a little bit of sensitivity to pollen, and I'm taking 1000% DV with each capsule that I take, and I take maybe 3 of them a day. So I'm taking essentially 3000% DV, which the FDA would say, oh, that's so dangerous, you should be careful. But it's absolutely fine. You just need to understand vitamins are very safe. We're taught that drugs and vitamins should be kept out of reach of children because if you overdose on them, it can be deadly. That's true of drugs, right? If you take 50 Tylenol, you're gonna die, or there's a very good chance of it. But if you take 50 vitamin C, you're gonna get an upset tummy. It won't be pleasant, but really, it's not dangerous. I think there's 2 reasons why the narrative that vitamins are dangerous is pushed to us. First off is that the drug companies are very powerful and they make their money on people being sick. If everybody was healthy, we wouldn't need drugs. Well, vitamins make us healthy when we take them in the proper dosages. So if we don't get proper levels of nutrition through vitamins and stuff, then we get sick, and then the drug companies make money off of us buying drugs. And the second reason that I suspect is actually a lot less sinister, and it's just that high doses of isolated or synthetic vitamins are not good for us. So if we're getting the wrong forms or manufactured isolated forms that a lot of the companies sell us in their supplements, those can actually have negative side effects. But if we're getting good, proper vitamins, especially when we eat whole foods, when we eat good quality food, that really you don't need to worry about it at all. The excess vitamins that you ingest will just be excreted through your normal bodily processes. So in summary, I actually like how much B12 and biotin are in the Baby and Me Too formula. I think it's much better for you than if it was just at 100%. The higher percentages are probably gonna be good for you. One more thing to ease your mind on this issue. My wife, Abby, is currently taking 500% of the recommended daily value by the FDA for vitamin B12. And that's something that we upped recently, actually just today, because we suspect she might be a little bit low. So just keep that in mind. It's more about how you feel and not about what these silly averages that the FDA pulled out of their you-know-where in order to get us to a state of dishealth. Same thing with their recommendations for margarine being better than butter. Bad idea. Basically, anything that the FDA says, assume the opposite is kind of my life philosophy. Take that with a grain of salt. Question 2 comes from Angie Turner. Milk and other dairy products are on the no-no list if you want to stay healthy. Please Google Anthony William. He has been around for many, many years and knows his stuff. Gluten, soy, dairy, and eggs all feed bad bacteria in the body. This is unfortunately fact. This is unfortunately false. Angie, I appreciate the comment and I just want to address it here. Anthony Williams is a con artist. This is very important and I don't want anybody to fall for his lies. But first, a little bit about him. He calls himself the medical medium, and that's his website, is medical medium. As in like someone who communes with spirits, that kind of a medium, not like a medium French fry. He talks to what he calls the spirit of compassion, and it's a spirit who's been talking to him since he was just a little boy. He correctly diagnosed his grandmother with cancer when he was 4. That's what he says. I don't know why we shouldn't believe him. He's become somewhat well known for his celery juice cleanse that he came up with and actually wrote an entire book on it. Somehow, I don't know how much information you can make on drinking 16 ounces of fresh celery juice every day. Celery isn't the most delicious thing, so it sounds kind of unpleasant to drink 16 ounces of it. Plus, you'd think that you could get like the same amount of nutrition from 1 ounce of kale juice. Like, why celery? It's not the most nutritious food. There's plenty of better things for you and tastier things for you. He's also a 4 times #1 New York Times best-selling author for his books, including the one about celery juice somehow. Okay, so I mentioned that he's a con artist. Let me lay down a few preliminary facts. First off, we need to recognize that the best lies, the best con jobs, are based on truth. The best lies are 90% true. And then there's just 10% false. So what they do, con people, they tell you a truth, a lie, and then a truth. As you're thinking through it, you go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Really? But then he already said something else that makes sense. So you just kind of pass by it and you go, well, he's so right in these other things that he must be right in the lie. No. And while we're laying the preliminary information, the second thing I want to talk about is his credentials. What are his credentials? Did he go to school? Did he study under some academy or research some information? Has he had a clinical practice? All of these are pretty much no's. His credentials are as follows. He claims to have diagnosed his grandmother of cancer when he was only 4 years old. Wow. Hollywood loves him. If Hollywood loves him, then I am highly suspicious. I don't tend to agree with anything that the crazy people in Hollywood think. And credential number 3, he talks to a spirit. Now, I'm not saying that spirits aren't real. I actually have done a cursory study of angels and demons and their interaction with humans. I'm actually a very spiritual, religious person. But I can tell you something for sure, or at least 99% for sure. Anthony Williams does not talk to a spirit. There's 3 possibilities for who Anthony Williams is. He's either telling the truth, he's crazy, or he's a liar. Well, I can tell you he's not telling the truth, because a spirit would not be wrong. It would never be wrong. In his practice, he goes on like this radio show, right? And he has people call in, tell him their problems, and he will diagnose them of their problem over the phone, and he'll tell them what they need to do to get better. And oftentimes they do see some benefits. He's right a lot of the time. His website claims that he's almost always right, or he's usually right. If it was a spirit that was telling him what's wrong with these people, he would never be wrong, because a spirit is not bound by the confines of sensory information. They instantly gather information about the physical world when they focus on it. So that's why I say a spirit would never incorrectly diagnose someone and would never give them information that would not work. So whether it's a spirit, or I would say an angel or a demon talking to him, it can't be, because they wouldn't be wrong. So he's not telling the truth, which means that we're left with 2 other possibilities. He's either crazy or he's a liar. I don't think he's crazy though, because crazy people don't turn their delusions into highly lucrative business models. He has created an empire to make him money. Whether it's on his website, he's got a whole long list of approved food products that you can buy. I will bet you $1 billion that every time you purchase a product on his website, he's getting a kickback through affiliate marketing. Or he's making people believe that he's, some kind of brilliant prophet, and he's getting money when people buy his books or when they pay him to consult on their health. These crazy Hollywood lunatics pay him to do a seance or whatever. So no, crazy people don't turn their delusions into highly successful, lucrative business models. Which leaves us with one possibility. He's a liar. He's a con man. And the proof of this is really in the pudding. He offers esoteric knowledge. Basically, secret knowledge. You can't know how to be healthy without him, without his connection to the spirit of compassion. Oh, this blessed gift that Anthony Williams is to the world. If it weren't for him, our way, our truth, our life, our great prophet, Anthony Williams, we would not be able to know how to be healthy. Thank you, Anthony William, for your contribution to the world. You are such a wonderful person. Yeah, I don't think so. He's building a cult following through this, making people think that they can't know how to be healthy without his help. You can also see that he's a con man. He's, creating a cult following because on his website, he doesn't substantiate any of his claims. He'll say dumb stuff like, eggs feed viruses. Now, not only is that just one of the, on its face, dumbest things I've ever heard, because no matter what theory you take of viruses, eggs don't feed them. And he doesn't substantiate it. He doesn't provide evidence. He doesn't provide external links for any of his information. There was not a single external link that I found on his website, which means that he's not trying to empower people with giving them knowledge on learning how they can take their health into their hands. He's simply providing proclamations. He's not teaching, he's proclaiming. And lastly, I want to reread Angie's comment and kind of go through and show how it's phrased kind of suspiciously. So Angie, if you're listening, just pay attention for a second. What did you say? You said milk and other dairy products are on the no-no list if you want to stay healthy. First off, condescension. That's a very condescending way to phrase that, to kind of put us in a inferior position. Right? Oh no, I don't know what being healthy means. And then you say, please Google Anthony William. He has been around for many, many years and knows his stuff. An appeal to authority. Anthony William, he's the only way to know about being healthy. If it wasn't for him, we'd all be in the dark. And then you say, gluten, soy, dairy, and eggs all feed bad bacteria in the body. This is unfortunately fact. No, Angie, this is unfortunately unsubstantiated claims that are very outlandish. What evidence does he provide for this? Does he have, I don't know, maybe a degree from some school? No, I don't think you need a degree from a school to, be smart, but maybe he has practical experience. Did he run like a health clinic? Has he treated a lot of patients himself? No. Maybe he has no credentials. Maybe his only credential is that he claims to talk to a spirit, and as I've shown, it can't be a spirit based on his own words. I do have to give Anthony William a little bit of credit though, because talking to a spirit is actually a pretty good way to build a cult following over health stuff. So who knows, maybe in the future I'm gonna be talking to a spirit. Question 3 comes from Nathalie C. She says, my friends are really into Liquid IV hydration packs. They gave me some to try, but I haven't really noticed any benefits when taking them. What's your thoughts on Liquid IV? I will say the basic claim of Liquid IV, if you're not familiar with it, is correct. And it's basically that electrolytes and other ingredients, when added to water, make water more absorbable, so it gets to your cells faster. I think the claim of Liquid IV is that if you add one of their powder packs to a glass of water, it becomes like 3 times more hydrating. And that's very possible actually. But why you didn't notice a difference? It could be that Liquid IV just isn't a high quality product. I haven't personally used it, so I can't say too much, but more likely, it's just that you're not dehydrated. So if you're already getting proper levels of hydration and you don't really have a problem with your electrolyte balance, then you're not gonna notice a whole lot when you start using a product like that. I, on the other hand, actually am pretty susceptible to like heat sickness when I go outside, getting headaches when I'm in the sun, exercising. So last year I tried a similar product. The product I had was LMNT Recharge, and it's the same idea, electrolytes in water, making it more absorbable and more hydrating. And it actually helped me a lot. I was able to be outside any day that I drank one of those, exercising, working in the hot sun, 90-degree weather, and I didn't get a headache. I felt great, really well hydrated. The whole idea of adding electrolytes and stuff to your water is not new. Actually, the opening game of the 2000 season for the NFL, it was a game of the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys. It's the hottest NFL game on record. At kickoff, the temperature was 109 degrees Fahrenheit, so just, crazy hot. And throughout the game, the Dallas Cowboys lost a total of like 12 players to heat cramps, right? They just kept sweating, they couldn't keep any liquid inside them, and so they just cramped up, and all throughout the game, their players were just dropping off, right? But the Philadelphia Eagles didn't lose a single player. All their players were fine throughout the entire game despite the excruciating heat because they were drinking pickle juice throughout the game. And that is a really powerful thing because of the sodium inside the pickle juice is an electrolyte, and it keeps your body absorbing water even when you're sweating it all out. It keeps the water into your body better. As far as the ingredients are concerned, Liquid I.V has pretty good ingredients for the most part, but some of them are a little sketchy. Some of the ingredients are sketchy, like natural flavors. Natural flavors, despite natural being in the name, are very loosely regulated by the FDA, and it doesn't mean natural. Natural flavors almost necessitates the fact that it's actually gone through some chemical processes. For example, like MSG can be labeled natural flavors. People are really aware that MSG is not good for you, but they hide it by calling it natural flavors. I don't think there's MSG in this product, but my point is that natural flavors and some other ingredients that they have in here are not great ingredients. It's definitely better than most sports drinks, but if you want an electrolyte drink, I actually recommend that you go with the other one that I've tried, the LMNT Recharge. I really liked it. The flavors were good. Again, it has natural flavors in there, but based on what I researched about the company though, I'm pretty confident that LMNT Recharge natural flavors is more on the natural side than on the artificial side, right? But if you're not confident, they also have a plain option. They have one that only has the electrolytes and doesn't have the flavors. If you are sensitive to natural flavors or you're concerned about that, then you can just get it without it. Liquid I.V doesn't have a plain option, so LMNT Recharge has a bonus there. LMNT Recharge also has magnesium, which is a really important electrolyte, and LMNT Recharge has twice the level of sodium in its packs compared to Liquid I.V. So it's more potent and you're more likely to see a benefit if you use the LMNT Recharge versus using the Liquid I.V packs. So if you want a sports drink, I recommend that one. I'll put a link in the description to it. And question 4 comes from Juan L. Bean. He says, I subbed. I made some fries today and cut them like in this video. Came out looking a lot better, LOL. Juan, that is, it's a good thing you've done. I highly recommend it to everyone. Juan is a genius. He knows what's up. If you want to know what's up, then you can join my subscribed group. You can join my cult. How'd I end it? Oh, I remember. I thank people. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. That's bad. Yeah. Okay. Bye.